What if a single question could turn a stranger into a friend? Imagine asking something so thoughtful that it unlocks someone's heart, sparking a moment of true connection. Welcome to The Art of Asking, the podcast where we explore the quiet power of questions, those sparks that light up understanding, trust, and growth. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and I'm thrilled to share this journey with you. After our first episode on why questions matter, today we're diving into a vital skill: asking to understand, the art of listening through questions. By the end of this episode, you'll discover a technique used by leaders like Oprah Winfrey and Angela Merkel to build trust in any conversation, and it's easier than you think. Joining us is Dr. Laura Simmons, a communication expert who's transformed countless relationships through her work on empathetic dialogue. Dr. Simmons, thank you for being here on The Art of Asking.
Emily, I'm so excited to join you. Questions are the heartbeat of connection, and when paired with deep listening, they can change how we relate to each other forever.
Your passion is contagious. Dr. Simmons, let's start with a story. Can you share a time when a question you asked, or one asked of you, created a powerful moment of understanding?
Absolutely, Emily. Let me take you back 7 years to a chilly morning in New York City. I was leading a corporate workshop for a group of executives, sharp, driven, but guarded, not quick to share. During a coffee break, I noticed one participant, Michael, sitting alone looking thoughtful. Instead of asking, "How's the session going?" I sat down and asked, "What's something you've learned about yourself through your work that you didn't expect?" Michael's eyes widened, and after a moment, he shared how leading his team taught him patience, a lesson he never thought he'd need as a fast-paced CEO. He told me about staying late to help a struggling employee, which shifted his view on leadership. That question didn't just break the ice, it built trust. Michael later shared that story with the group, inspiring others to open up, and the workshop became a turning point for their team's cohesion. That moment showed me that a question, asked with care, is like a key. It unlocks someone's story and invites them to be seen. It reminds me of Oprah Winfrey's gift for interviewing. When she spoke with Brené Brown, she asked, "What does vulnerability mean to you? Not just as a scholar, but as a person." That question drew out Brown's personal struggles and triumphs, creating a conversation that touched millions. Questions like that don't just start dialogues, they touch the soul.
Michael's story and Oprah's moment with Brené Brown are so powerful. Why do questions, when paired with deep listening, have such a profound ability to foster understanding?
That's the heart of it, Emily. Questions are powerful because they're an invitation to share. Your story matters to me. But the real magic happens when you listen. Not just to the words, but to the emotions, the pauses, the unspoken truths. That's when a question becomes a bridge to someone's heart. Unlike statements which can feel like walls, questions open windows. They create space for someone's perspective, pain, or joy. And when you listen fully, without judgment or distraction, you're building trust. It's like planting a seed for a stronger relationship. There's science behind this. Research from UC Berkeley shows that asking open-ended questions and listening actively triggers oxytocin release, the trust hormone, in both you and the other person. It's a biological signal that says, "We're safe here." I saw this when I reconnected with a college friend, Rachel, after a falling out. Over lunch, I asked, "What's been the hardest lesson life's taught you since we last spoke?" As she shared her struggles with self-doubt, I focused on her words and tone. That question and my listening didn't just repair our friendship, it made it deeper than ever. The Berkeley study explains why. Oxytocin fosters bonding, making both parties feel valued. But it's not just personal. Questions that invite understanding ripple outward. When I coached a nonprofit team in Denver, morale was low. I asked each member, "What's one thing about your work here that means the most to you?" And listened without interrupting. Those answers, stories of impact and purpose, shifted the team's energy. People felt heard and their commitment grew. Asking to understand isn't just kind, it's transformative. And later, I'll share a simple trick to craft questions that open hearts in any conversation.
Your image of questions as windows is so vivid. How can we craft questions that truly open these windows and invite people to share authentically?
Crafting questions that invite authenticity is like painting with words, Emily. It's all about heart and intention. The goal is to ask in a way that makes someone feel safe, not judged. Start with open-ended questions that give room for stories, not just facts. Instead of "What's your job?" try "What's the moment in your work that's made you proudest?" That invites reflection and emotion. I saw this work with a young professional I mentored, Sophie. She was shy in team meetings, so I asked, "What's one idea you've had that you haven't shared yet? And what makes it special to you?" She opened up about a creative solution she'd been hesitant to pitch. That question gave her the confidence to speak up later, earning her team's respect. Sheryl Sandberg's approach is a great example. When she met Mark Zuckerberg, she asked, "What's the impact you dream Facebook can have on the world?" That showed she cared about his vision, not just numbers, and it built the foundation for their partnership at Meta. Questions about purpose or passion can spark deep connections. Timing matters too. You need trust before going deep. While volunteering at a youth program in Boston, I met a reserved teen, Jamal. After weeks of casual chats, I asked, "What's something you love doing that you don't get to talk about much?" He revealed his passion for photography, which led to him leading a project to document the program. That question, asked when he was ready, unlocked his potential. Your delivery is key. Ask with warmth and curiosity, and people will feel safe. Maya Angelou was a master at this. She'd ask, "What's a moment that shaped who you are today?" Her gentle approach made people feel cherished, and they'd share stories they'd never told. Science supports this. A 2019 study from Stanford found that questions asked with positive tone and body language increased the likelihood of open responses by 40%. That's the kind of asking we can all practice: curious, kind, and present. What would happen if you asked one question today that showed someone you truly care? Coming up, I'll share how to listen so deeply it transforms your conversations.
Jamal's story and Maya Angelou's warmth are so inspiring. For those of us wanting to listen more deeply through our questions, what practical steps can we take to truly hear the person responding?
Listening is the soul of this practice, Emily, because a great question is only as powerful as the attention you give the answer. Deep listening means being present for the words, emotions, and intentions behind them. Start with active listening. Give your undivided attention. No checking your phone or planning your next question. Show you're with them through small gestures. A nod, a quiet "that's so interesting." I learned this coaching a client, Elena, navigating a career change. I asked, "What's the biggest fear holding you back right now?" As she shared her worry of failing, I leaned in, mirroring her emotions. When she finished, I said, "It sounds like that fear carries a lot of weight." That reflection made her feel heard, and she shared deeper insights. Embrace silence. After asking a question, let the pause linger. It gives people space to reflect. I saw this with a colleague, Nathan, who was frustrated about a project. I asked, "What's making this feel so tough for you?" He started to answer, then hesitated. I waited. After a moment, he admitted he felt undervalued. A truth he might not have shared without that space. Barbara Walters was brilliant at this. When interviewing Nelson Mandela, she asked, "What was the hardest sacrifice you made for your cause?" She let the silence sit, giving him room to find the words. That patience drew out responses that captivated the world. A 2021 study from Harvard confirms this. Pauses after questions increase the depth of responses by 25%. Silence isn't empty, it's powerful. Follow-up questions show you're engaged. If someone shares a story, ask, "How did that moment change you?" Or "What was that like for you?" I did this with a friend, Claire, who was talking about her new business. After her initial answer, I asked, "What's been the most unexpected joy in this journey?" That led to a heartfelt talk about her rediscovered creativity, deepening our bond. Let go of assumptions. If an answer surprises you, ask, "Can you share more about what you mean?" This shows humility. These steps, presence, silence, follow-ups, openness, turn questions into moments of true understanding. What would your conversations be like if you listen this deeply every day?
Those steps feel so doable, yet so impactful. How can we use questions to navigate challenging situations, like conflicts or high-emotion moments?
Questions can be lifelines in tough moments, Emily, if we ask with humility and a desire to understand. In conflicts or emotional situations, Questions calm tensions and uncover shared ground. I saw this facilitating a community dialogue in Philadelphia. The group was debating a local policy and tempers flared, neighbors shouting, interrupting. I asked, "What's the one thing you hope this decision will achieve for our community?" That shifted the focus from blame to shared goals. One person wanted safety, another affordability. By listening to each answer, we found common values, and the group began collaborating. That question turned chaos into dialogue. Angela Merkel's leadership is a global example. During Europe's refugee crisis, she asked stakeholders, "What do you need to make this work for your community?" That question, paired with attentive listening, helped her navigate complex negotiations, finding solutions amid gridlock. Questions focusing on needs can cut through tension. For practical tips, use neutral, open-ended questions. Instead of, "Why are you so angry?" try, "Can you share what's making this so hard for you?" I used this with a coworker, Alex, during a tense disagreement about a project timeline. I asked, "What's the biggest concern you have about this deadline?" His answer, fear of burnout, shifted our focus to a balance plan, and we resolved it together. Acknowledge emotions first. If someone's upset, say, "I can see this is really important to you. Can you tell me more?" Indra Nooyi, former PepsiCo CEO, did this. When her team faced tough decisions, she'd ask, "I know this is hard. What's your perspective on how we proceed?" Her empathy opened dialogue. Accept that questions don't always solve everything instantly. They start the conversation. A 2017 study from MIT found that questions in conflict reduce hostility by 20% by signaling respect. Asking to understand in tough moments shows you're there, building trust over time. Stay tuned, because I'll share a daily practice to make this second nature.
From Philadelphia to Merkel, those insights are incredible. For listeners ready to bring this into their lives, what's a practical way to start asking to understand every day?
This is my favorite part, Emily, because anyone can start this today. I call it the heartfelt question. Each day, pick one person, a colleague, friend, or loved one, and ask a question designed to understand them better. Try, "What's something you've been thinking about lately?" Or "What's a moment this week that made you feel alive?" Then, listen with your full attention, letting their answer unfold. Do this for a week and your conversations will transform. I started this years ago. One day I asked my neighbor Karen, "What's a tradition from your family that means a lot to you?" She shared a story about her grandmother's holiday recipes, and we talked for an hour, laughing and swapping memories. That question turned a polite nod into a friendship. Lin-Manuel Miranda's curiosity is a great example. He asks collaborators, "What's a story you've always wanted to tell?" That question sparked Hamilton and built trust with his teams, creating art that resonates globally. You don't need to be a Broadway star, just be genuine. Make it a shared experience. At a team meeting or family dinner, invite everyone to ask someone else a meaningful question. I tried this at a friend's birthday dinner, asking, "What's a moment this year you'll never forget?" The answers, triumphs, losses, joys, wove us closer. Science backs this up. A 2020 study from Stanford found that asking empathetic questions increases feelings of connection by 35% in both parties. What could one heartfelt question a day do for your relationships? This practice grows with you. Start small, listen with heart, and watch your world light up. Before we close, I'll share one final question to spark connection today.
That heartfelt question practice is so inviting. Dr. Simmons, what's that final question for our listeners?
Here it is, Emily. Who in your life needs to be heard today, and what question will you ask to show you care? That question is a gift. It might deepen a friendship, heal a rift, or inspire someone to shine. Ask it with love, listen with compassion, and see where it leads.
Dr. Simmons, you've shown us how questions and listening can weave us closer together. Thank you for this beautiful conversation. Listeners, who will you ask a heartfelt question today? Try Dr. Simmons' practice. Ask one question, listen deeply, and watch your connections grow. If this episode inspired you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next dive into the art of asking. We've got more tools coming to master questions in love, leadership, and beyond. Share this with a friend who needs to hear it, and let us know your questions on social media. We'd love to hear them. I'm Emily Carter, and I'll see you next time. Keep asking, keep listening, keep connecting.